Every week, Land Rover Palm Beach supports local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community by naming a Player of the Week. This year, $35,000 will be rewarded to student athletes and their schools. Tune in to ESPN West Palm High School Game Day every Friday night as I unveil this week's featured athlete. If you have a great performance that I need to know about, DM us at ESPN West Palm. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
I thought the Colts were going to get some competition for Anthony Richardson. So why the hell did they just sign Danny Dimes?
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It is Tuesday, March 11th. We are, theoretically speaking, NFL free agency, the tampering period, still wide open. Headlines still flowing right on through. Flowing on through. Open the gates. A lot of motion happening in the National Football League. I hate that we have to put to the side a lot of NBA talk. I got some sharp stuff I want to get into when it comes to the Thunder, the Cavs, what the Lakers got cooking still. We'll get to some of that stuff, but we have to pay the proper due to the sport that is literally dominating right now in the NFL, and especially what I just saw happen out there in Indianapolis. CCAT is on the other side of the glass on the ones and the twos, and today, CCAT, we're going to be talking about disrespect.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
I want to start tampering. Like, how do we get in the tampering business?
Yeah, the one thing I don't understand about both the NBA and the NFL, and I think other leagues do it as well, they have the tampering period and whatnot, is there doesn't ever seem to be a real effort to thwart the actual tampering that happens all throughout the calendar year. Like, these conversations are being had, not just player to owner or player to GM or player to coach, but more specifically agents. The agents of these players are in constant communication with all of these teams. And I know we don't have Mike Tannenbaum, former GM of the Jets, former VP of football operations for the Dolphins. We don't have him today like we typically have on Tuesdays. We'll catch up with him next week.
We'll have him at 4:40.
Oh, we'll have him on Russo and Rizzo today.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So stick around and tap in with Mike T. Maybe call in and try to get this question into him. But it's one of those things where if you put these GMs, these decision makers in NFL front offices on truth serum, they're not really doing their job if they're not technically tampering all season long.
Yeah.
All season long.
Especially if it's at a ski resort where Tom Brady happens to be there at the same time of Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Like, those conversations happen whether they are incidental or not.
That's the thing, too, is like you don't even have to necessarily, quote unquote, tamper. It doesn't have to be nefarious in 2025. Like, there's so many means of communication. There's so many means that players and agents use to signal things out to teams or organizations that work, right? There's cryptic tweets. There are, I'm sure, again, just phone calls and text work, dinners, link-ups. Like, it's happening left and right. But, again, we are in the official open tampering season. And one of the latest deals that we hear about in the NFL's tampering season, the Indianapolis Colts, the Indy Colts, head coach Shane Steichen, general manager Chris Ballard, they're in a weird place this year. It's a very pivotal season for them, the year 3 of the Anthony Richardson experience. And today they decided to put their I don't even know what you want to call it. They signed freaking Daniel Jones, CCAT. Mm-hmm. They signed Daniel Jones, 27-year-old quarterback, fresh off of the recovery from his ACL injury, fresh off the practice squad of the New York Giants, and then technically, I guess, the active roster for the Minnesota Vikings, even though he really was only on there so they can get a compensatory pick in 2026. They brought Daniel Jones in 1 year, $14 million to a quarterback who has already, his own franchise. there's like 4 or 5 teams out there that are looking for a veteran quarterback, a bridge quarterback, maybe even a future starter. One of those teams was literally the team that Daniel Jones was playing for last year, and they said, "Nah, we're good."
That's true.
Nah, we're good. We'll figure it out in the draft, or we'll figure it out in free agency. We'll see what happens.
And they were already pot committed to him.
Yeah.
They gave him a big contract, $40 million a year. Did I read that right?
Yes.
I think I did.
Yes. $40 million a year, and that franchise cut that dude. Now, you could say, well, the Giants, they have a history of cutting or letting players walk, and then those players pop on other teams, a la Saquon Barkley with the Eagles, a la Xavier McKinney with the Packers he went and played for and then led the league in interceptions. Like, yeah, sure, Joe Schoen, it feels like this is the last straw for both Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll, and it feels like when it comes to making pivotal decisions for the future of a franchise, neither one of them have been able to accurately make the right moves. But the move they made today, I don't give a damn about what the Giants thought about Daniel Jones. I don't care about how much the Vikings wanted to retain his talents to stay back alongside J.J. McCarthy and figure things out. There's one thing I take away from the Colts investing in the Daniel Jones this offseason to compete with Anthony Richardson. And that, to me, is downright disrespectful to Anthony Richardson. Rich, as he enters year 3, as he, again, coming off of a year where he was benched, where he was ridiculed, he had that awkward moment at press conference where he admitted he pulled himself out of a game. Like, so many ups and downs early on in this dude's career. And you're telling me that they're bringing in Daniel Jones. And when you pay a guy $14 million at quarterback in the NFL, yeah, you want him to play. You don't sign a guy for $14 million for 1 year and he's a backup. He's a bench player. In fact, when we look at the annual per year values with quarterbacks and we went down that list and it starts at 60 again with Dak and you go all the way down to a lot of the starters, like the Colts are paying Daniel Jones more than the Raiders paid Gardner Minshew last year.
They're paying him $14 million for what they allege is motivation, trying to get the best out of their current investment.
So let's find out. Because there's a lot that's going to come out of this. Let's find out because the former Florida Gator quarterback, Anthony Richardson, is entering year 3 of his career. What that means is at the end of this season, the Colts have the option to actually accept his 5th-year option, which would guarantee his 4th year of money, and it would guarantee a 5th season, and then they can work out a long-term extension. I'll give y'all some statistics and numbers very soon here about the regularity in which that has happened over the past 10 drafts with top 5 picks like Anthony Richardson is very telling stats. And might I tell you, very few quarterbacks, way less than you would assume, actually do end up signing an extension with their team. But let's go back to why this happened. Why the Colts let Flacco obviously go and sign Daniel Jones this offseason. Let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth. No pun intended. Chris Ballard, GM of the Colts, in February. I believe this was this Combine time or no?
February 25th.
What, February 25th.
Yeah, that's Combine.
Combine time. Chris Ballard up at the microphone, and he tells you what his plans are when filling up that quarterback room.
We want to create real competition. I think it's good for the team. I think it's good for Anthony. I don't like when we drafted Anthony high, knowing it was going to take some time. All right, and we knew there's going to be some hiccups along the way, and it's I know we all want a finished product right now. I do, you do, fans do, we all do. But I think as he continues to progress in his young career, us adding competition, I think will help up everybody's game.
They said they brought in, again, this was Ballard before he made the move. He said, we're going to add to this quarterback room some competition. We're going to add to this room somebody who can fuel some inspiration behind Anthony Richardson. As we want to get the best out of him, we also want a competition because we want the best available quarterback to be playing for us because we think we might have a playoff roster. So I get that, right? That sounds good. Chris Ballard, hey, you speaking my language, brother. I love a little bit of competition. Iron sharpens iron. And also maybe you bring in a veteran and Anthony Richardson might be able to learn something from a brother. And then today we get the news that they brought in Daniel Jones. They brought in Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes, who people call him Danny Dimes now, and it's more satirical than it is actually a compliment or a nickname. Like, the guy has thrown absolute pennies since he's gotten into the league. And there was nothing that we saw out of last year that would tell you not only is Daniel Jones worth $14 million in a given season, but also that he should be a person that should be competing with a top 5 pick 2 years into his career who you hope is the future of your franchise. So to me, it is the ultimate level of disrespect to Anthony Richardson, who has probably in the first 2.5 years of his career probably suffered the most disrespect of all time from a franchise that actually drafted him and invested that heavy of a pick in him. Like, what the hell is going on in Indianapolis?
But not all disrespect is unwarranted. Like, if you play football at a low level in the NFL, so much so that you get benched for Joe Flacco in 2024, and you see here and there better quarterback play from Joe Flacco in 2024, isn't disrespect warranted?
Yeah, not disrespect, but maybe a pivot from the franchise.
But
right?
disrespect, like, not personally, but I don't respect your level of play at this position as much as I did before the season.
Here's the thing, though. There's a difference between feeling that way and making a savvy move to bring somebody in that you think they can actually compete, that can actually move the needle for your franchise. Maybe somebody that comes in with a lot of experience who can be a mentor. Like, that's kind of what Joe Flacco was last year. That's what they had in his rookie season with Gardner Minshew. Those are applicable levels, especially when you assess what Anthony Richardson was coming into the league. That was an applicable amount of, all right, we don't respect your game enough. Here's somebody to actually refine the edges. What the hell is Daniel Jones going to do for Anthony Richardson?
But aren't the Minshews and the Flaccos of the world good at what they do in terms of not rocking the boat but still being there because they're not threatening? So are you saying that not because of the person at hand, but because of the amount of money he got paid in Daniel Jones is threatening to Anthony Richardson?
They're paying Daniel Jones more money than they're paying Richardson, which, again, out of their control. Richardson's on the 3rd year of his rookie deal. But they're also paying him more than what you would pay a backup quarterback in 2025. He'll be the highest paid backup quarterback in the league. That's what they paid him for. And again, I say that in just because he's not going to be the highest paid backup quarterback in the league. They're paying him as if they want him to be a starter. We talked about Justin Fields' contract. Justin Fields with the Jets. He got 2 years, $20 million per year for the Jets, and he's younger and has shown a lot more, actually, when it comes to talent and production in the league. Daniel Jones
producing, not a playoff win like Daniel Jones. No.
But produce as a court. Be honest with me then. If you really feel like Daniel Jones is a better quarterback today than Justin Fields, then why the hell wasn't he out there actually getting serious looks from other teams like the Jets for a contract to be their starter for the next couple of years?
I'm pulling your strings. I do think if given the two options, I would go with Justin Fields.
Daniel Jones is a guy who, in his peak year, at his best, when Brian Daboll was able to craft up a very, very unique offense that was able to squeeze the most out of DJ, they made the playoffs. They actually got a postseason victory because they had the opportunity, I would say, to play the Vikings and Kirk Cousins, who, again, if you want to win a playoff game, might I suggest playing against Kirk Cousins? Might option. I suggest, that's a good dude to go up against, especially as an underdog. You're like, oh, yeah, sure. They got the better record. We'll whoop their ass. It's disrespectful for you to even make Kirk Cousins a favorite over me. That's disrespect. But Daniel Jones, even in that season, do I have to go back through his stat line? Do I have to remind everybody how bad he was, how stupid of a decision it was for Joe Schoen and that franchise to re-up on Daniel Jones?
Yes. Give me some spark notes of Daniel Jones's. The last we saw of him, what it looked like in the Daniel Jones experience with a first-round receiver.
Yeah, the year was – I'm not even talking about last year. I'm talking about 2022, his best year. His best year as a Giant when they won a playoff game, 15 passing touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Now, if he had 15 touchdowns, C-Cat, I'm guessing you're thinking, he must have missed a few games. Yeah, get hurt. You get hurt. Maybe you sat out a couple games because you made the playoffs. You had to bye.
Give the man some benefit of the doubt. He is a dual-threat quarterback with his legs.
He played 16 games, 3,200 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And if you want to give him credit for the rushing in 2022, he did score 7 touchdowns, 708 yards. It's fairly productive, but that wasn't the reason why the Giants were winning. Nobody other than the front office of the New York Giants, who are now, again, on their last life. You know, like, it's like, remember how the video games in the arcade, when you lose that last life and it's continue, and you yes or no? They're not even on their last life. They're at the stage where it's continue, yes or no. And literally their owner had to say in the middle of last season, yes, we'll continue. One more time. One more life. Insert another coin. That's where Daboll and Shane are, because they decided to commit to Daniel Jones, which, by the way, we're talking about disrespectful moves and times in which you were disrespected at work, like Richardson is being disrespected by the Giants, bringing in Daniel Jones to compete with him.
Colts.
Excuse me, I keep saying the Giants. Again, the Colts bringing in Daniel Jones to compete with him. How about how much disrespect Saquon felt that Joe Shane and Brian Daboll looked at that 2022 offense and said, man, yeah, Saquon's cool. The difference is the guy we need to lock up and make sure we have for our future is Daniel Jones.
You don't pay him $40 million to hand it off to the running back.
It was like 4 years, $140 million, $160. It was a crazy.
4 years, $160 million.
Crazy contract. And now that same dude who failed at pretty much every turn in his career outside of one blip on the radar is coming into Indianapolis to quote-unquote compete with Anthony Richardson. And this is a guy that was berated all through his college career for his inaccuracies. He was made fun of for the way in which he popped at the combine, yet still displayed a level of inconsistency as a thrower that it was memeable. There's a lot of passes you'll watch from Anthony Richardson that sail over folks' heads, or he tries to throw a bubble screen with too much juice on it, and it just looks silly. Yet none of it compares to the amount of disrespect he should feel waking up this morning and seeing that text, seeing that notification. And the reason I bring this up is it's do or die time for Anthony Richardson. The Colts, for the 18th time, have disrespected this man, and how he responds to this moment, entering year 3, is going to dictate whether this is a 10 to 15-year journey as a franchise QB, or if in 3 to 4 years, CCAT, he's going to be sitting right next to us. You know, he can be co-host, theoretically speaking. What's up, Rich? Let's talk about it.
He's got a seat open.
Hell yeah, I got you. I got you, dog.
I will say
combine numbers ain't going to help, though.
With Anthony Richardson, he did let me down last year. I think you and I were on the same page. Yeah. We thought the Colts could be a problem that nobody was thinking about, and it was quarterback play that really was a big factor in holding them back, and he has a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
So I think that fool me once, shame on me before, or how the saying goes.
Are you George Bush? You literally just said it almost verbatim like he did. I think he ruined it for everybody because that is what happened. Like,
fool me once with Anthony Richardson, shame on Anthony Richardson, but he's not going to fool me twice. I'm not going to buy in on Anthony Richardson.
Fool me, I won't get fooled again.
Exactly. If I fall for Anthony Richardson, it's my fault this time. So I'm not going to do it.
And to be honest with you, his stock is the lowest it will ever be again, and that is directly tied to the fact that they would bring in Daniel Jones at $14 million this year. Like, you're never going to be able to buy lower on a Rich. He's either going to be out of the league at the end of this year, they're either going to cut ties with him, or they're going to end up re-upping on him. And again, let me bring up the stats just to kind of highlight what's at stake for Richardson. So you understand what the fifth-year option is, right? So for first-rounders, you can have a fifth-year option on the back end of their rookie contract. It's 4 years. You can get a fifth-year option. And, of course, the goal for any first-rounder or player in general is to sign an extension with their own team.
Right, not get that option, but to get a deal instead of the option, right?
Yes. So dating back to the 2015 draft, going 10 years previous to today's draft, there have been 13 top 5 picks at quarterbacks who have become eligible to extend with their teams that drafted them. 13 players. And I'm talking about top 5 quarterbacks. Think Goff, think Winston, think Kyler Murray. Those are the names involved. Out of the 13 quarterbacks, only 3 of them actually ended up signing an extension with their team. 3 of the 13. If I had to ask you today, CCAT, what trajectory Anthony Richardson is on, if you had to pick one or the other, he signs an extension, not just a fifth-year option, but ends up signing an extension to stay in Indianapolis, or is a journeyman, gets traded away, gets cut. Which one would you side with right now?
He's going to be the backup to the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I
So
do
what is it
not
looking
think
like?
he's going to be a Colt in 2027.
So, and again, when you look at that stat, 3 of the 13 have signed extensions with their same teams, and you look at what we've seen from A-Rich, you're right. He's on that trajectory. All right, let's add more context to it. Those 3 players, Kyler Murray, Trevor Lawrence, and Joe Burrow. Those are the only 3 players in the past 10 years that were drafted in the top 5 that actually signed extensions with their current teams. All 3 of those players still on their teams. Murray and Lawrence, by the way, did it after 3 years, which is odd because those were the 2 of the out of Murray, Lawrence, and Burrow. Burrow proved himself much quicker, but Murray and Lawrence was able to achieve an extension from their team before Burrow did.
Well, it's, GMs foreseeing how much money's going to get crazy in the quarterback market.
Yeah.
And they want to get in before their asking price is higher. And I think that there might be mistakes there with Trevor Lawrence and even Kyler Murray.
And the biggest signal as to whether or not you're going to actually get an extension with the team that drafted you is whether or not they pick up the 5th-year option. The Colts will have that decision on the table. It'll become immediately available once this regular season ends, once he's done with his 3rd season under quarterback. And those 3 quarterbacks got the 5th-year option picked up and also got the extension. But just getting the 5th-year option picked up is not the end-all, be-all, because outside of those 3 of 13 that did, the other 2 quarterbacks that got the 5th option picked up and did not pan out, Jameis Winston, who played that 5th-year option, and that was the infamous 30-30 year with the Bucs. Then he goes off to the Saints because they were like, we could do better. And then you have Baker Mayfield with the Browns, who, of course, they pick up the 5th-year option and then trade him off to the Carolina Panthers, who take him on. And then there's the Reclamation Project. And again, that to me feels more aligned with where I think Anthony Richardson ends up. I think because of the combine numbers, the pure and raw athleticism, his running ability, if he can at least stay healthy. I'm not assuming he's going to just come out like gangbusters and actually be that elite top 10, top 5 level quarterback over the next couple of years. If he can remain healthy, there's always going to be a home for a guy with that level of athleticism and that powerful of an arm to, at the very least, be a bridge-style quarterback, similar to Justin Fields with the Jets, similar to Jameis Winston and what he went and did with the Saints, and similar to what Baker Mayfield was able to get with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after the Panthers and the Rams deals, right? Like, he had some coaches work on him. They retooled him, and he's back. Now he's a franchise QB. I think A-Rich is more aligned with that. But, again, that wouldn't be his goal either. That's not what a team picks you in the top 5 to end up being.
No, but you also adjust, your expectations of a player when you have him in your building for 2 years. So, I think that I see a lot more Jameis Winston with actual mobility in Anthony Richardson than any other better example.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, it's sad to say, but that actually would feel like a success. And I'm only saying that
as
because
far as him or as far as the team success?
No, for Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson.
Gotcha.
The team doesn't want that. I think this is already feeling like a failed experiment. Once you got to bring in Daniel Jones and pay him real money to inspire, to light a flame under your quarterback's ass, you got a problem on your hands. So Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen and everybody with the Colts, they know that this is an issue. The question is, how do you respond, Rich? We're talking about how Luka's going to respond to being disrespected by the Mavericks, shipped off to L.A. in the middle of the night. How are you going to respond? Are you going to take your health, your body, and your work ethic, especially on the defensive end of the court, are you going to take that seriously? How will you respond? Look at Jimmy Butler. The many a times he's been disrespected throughout his career, he's bounced back with flames. Playoff Jimmy was birthed from the Tobias Harris over Jimmy deal in Philadelphia, the A. Wiggins and Cat over Jimmy in Minnesota. He responded well. I don't know what A. Rich is made out of, though, dude. I don't. I have no clue what he's made out of, but we're going to learn this year. I think he has the most do or die, the most something to prove quarterback player in general in the NFL this year based off of how his organization continuously disrespects him.
And when you talked about this in our show group chat earlier today, one of the ideas where Anthony Richardson, most to prove in 2025.
Yes.
I sense immediately, and I believed this. This was not me pulling your strings. This was not me trying to get a reaction out of you. Are we sure that he's going to get a chance to prove it?
Yes.
Because I feel like Daniel Jones is a better practice simulated quarterback than Anthony Richardson. Because isn't what Anthony Richardson brings to the table more on the fly, more broken play, more instinctual quarterback play rather than a scheduled drive going through the motions where you are aware of your next 10 players are going to be?
Yeah, Daniel Jones started 10 games last year, C-Cat. He started 10 games last year, and those aren't like games that he started under the cloak of the night. We're not able to like go pull him back up. There's tape on that. Chris Ballard, I'm sure he saw it. Steichen had to see it as well. In those 10 games, by the way, which, after that 10-game sample size by the Giants, they not only did they bench him, they relegated him to third string, had him playing safety on the practice squad. Daniel Jones had a 47 QBR, 8 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. His completion percentage was 63. That's rivaling the lows that you get out of Anthony Richardson. In fact, there was a tweet I saw earlier today that the lowest 2 QBRs from last season in the NFL, adjusted for quarterbacks that hit the threshold to qualify, Daniel Jones, Anthony Richardson. Them boys having a quarterback battle, and it's a damn pillow fight. What the hell are we doing in Indianapolis, and how do you not take that as a direct form of disrespect if you're Anthony Richardson? At least go out and pay Sam Darnold. At least go out and is Gardner Minshew available? Like Aiden O'Connell? Daniel Jones, who at his best was bad. I absolutely don't understand this outside of them trying to use this as a motivating factor. And to me, if you're Anthony, I'll know 4 games in whether or not A. Rich is a guy that'll be a long-term starter in this league. And he's got to show some level of heart.
Wait a second. I thought this was a typo because you gave me Daniel Jones stats. Did you look at Anthony Richardson's stats from last year?
Yes.
They're almost worse.
They are
worse. 8 touchdowns, 12 interceptions in 11 games.
Yeah.
So
47 QBR compared to Daniel Jones. But again, so why are you bringing this dude in to compete with me then?
Because he might beat him. Because you want a better quarterback at a position rather than a worse quarterback position if you're thinking about winning.
Just cut me now.
It's a winnable division.
Anthony Richardson's 22 years old. What is the one there's nothing Daniel Jones brings to the table that Anthony Richardson can't do better.
But I think that there's the very antiquated conversation because we haven't seen Daniel Jones with the Colts.
I would have rather them get Aaron Rodgers. And I don't think anybody should invest in Aaron Rodgers this offseason. In fact, I don't think we should say his name on this show.
It would kind of fit the Colts' mode the past, 5 years?
10
Matt
years.
Ryan and Phil Rivers also went to the Colts.
Yes.
The last stop of their careers.
Joe Flacco, Matt Ryan, Phil Rivers. There was another one as well that they have the longest
home
list.
Which would make sense if they were maybe in South Florida or in
Arizona,
where somewhere where you do retire to. You don't retire to Indianapolis, but they did.
Well, they don't do it by choice. Indianapolis is just desperate. They were desperate, and they have been ever since Andrew Luck retired in the middle of the night on them. That's when they became a desperate franchise. They were so close. They felt they were so close to contending. They kept on trying to get these stopgap old veteran quarterbacks. You're right. Aaron Rodgers would be the next in line for that. In fact, that if they didn't go and get Daniel Jones, that would have been the one home that I would have said, I get it. I can see it.
But seriously, I don't think that it's unrealistic to think that Daniel Jones starts week 1 for the Colts. If the Colts were willing to bench Anthony Richardson for Joe Flacco, what tells you that they're not willing to start Daniel Jones week 1 over Anthony Richardson?
I'll tell you that
even
if Daniel Jones starts week 1, once he starts playing football, he's going to find his way back on that bench very soon. That's what happens. That's his whole career. We've seen there's 7 years of data points of Daniel Jones being not good enough at this game that let me know the flyer on Anthony Richardson will be much better. And again, I'm not saying that this is not a knock to Daniel Jones. I think he should be a backup somewhere.
Yeah.
I think he should. But for you to come out and say I'm getting competition for my quarterback, for the hopeful future of my franchise, and you go out and bring that in, it's disrespectful. And Anthony, he better take it that way, and he better respond in a major way. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. We'll open up Theoretically Speaking here on a Tuesday and give you a chance to tell us a time at your occupation, at your job, at your work, where you felt just flat out disrespected. How did you respond? Did it work? Some people respond well to disrespect, CK.
It gives them added motivation. Everyone loves having a chip on their shoulder.
I like a little confrontation with my morning coffee. Give me a little shove on the shoulder.
If everyone's lovey-dovey with you all the time, you kind of get complacent.
The ultimate competitors Seek that out, right? That's what Michael Jordan talked about all the time. I took that personal. That was the whole documentary thing. Find that edge. What was the last time at work, at your job, you felt disrespected? And how did you respond? And if you got a good story, maybe we relay that to Anthony Richardson, because he should feel disrespected today, and he should respond in a major way. Prove to us that you should be that guy. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. That's the number to call in at Theoretically Speaking. That is the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle, orthopedic surgeons, and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Disrespect on the job. When's the last time it's happened to you? And how is that not how Anthony Richardson should feel? We address that on the other side. Again, hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline, 888-760-3776. Our stories plus headline that's got me feeling a little bit eerie, a little bit skeptical on the other side. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey with Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, it's Evan Cohen from Unsportsmanlike, and when it comes to the NBA, I'm like a kid in a candy store. Wednesday, Bam and the Heat take on Kawhi and the Clippers in a battle at the Kaseya Center. Can Miami hold it down, or will LA steal the show? We go live at 7:30 right here on ESPN 106.3.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today. Don't miss out on this incredible course. And please, putt responsibly.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Tomorrow's the big day, C-Cat.
Warm.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Watch YouTube videos to learn how to throw a baseball?
I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Not throw, pitch. Specifically pitching. It's a little bit of a difference.
Well, yeah, if you practice on flat ground, you're going to have an issue.
Yeah. No, trust me, man. I got access. Come on, man. Come on. Are you playing with me like that, dog?
If you practice on flat ground, you're going to spike it every time once you get onto the mound.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
So do you have a bullpen you're practicing at, some connections? You're going to go to the diamond?
Oh, dog, you thinking? Look,
so for those that don't know, Theo is throwing the first pitch tomorrow at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium.
Yes. Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. It's going to be at the Cardinals-Mets game tomorrow. I believe 1 o'clock is the scheduled first pitch for the game, but you know what I'm saying? The actual first pitch will be about 5-10 minutes before that. It's your boy on the mound, on the bump, handling business. So make sure you get your tickets, by the way, tomorrow afternoon before Theoretically Speaking. Visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com or drop by the ticket office today. Get some spring training tickets. Get tapped in. Specifically, tomorrow's game is going to be the one to go to because, again, I have I don't want to call it a bet, more of a wager. It's a wager.
It's the same meaning.
So it's not a bet, it's a wager. There's a wager out there between myself and a teammate here. He says I can't get it over the plate at 62. It's got to be a strike as well, which, again, how do we gauge whether or not it was a strike? Like, is there going to be an ABS thing? Am I going to be able to pat my head, get a check on it?
We'll have the cameras out.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to clearly tell.
There's not going to be a batter there for the first pitch. You can't tell if it's a strike or not. There's no batter's box.
Okay, I guess it varies a little bit, but we'll guess a batter's box for someone who is 6'1". How about that?
Yeah, so we're just going to draw up some AB. So it's just dimensions. We're going to come up with dimensions. It's going to be right down the middle, so we're not going to have to worry about it.
The strike zone is a defined thing. So, it's not a theoretical thing.
Yeah, but it changes based on where somebody's, what is it, like the
knees to shoulders.
Shoulders,
kinda.
Okay, yeah. So, if there's no batter there, then there's no strike zone. All right, so it's America's busiest ballpark, Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium. It is the most ambiguous term in sports when it comes to a first pitch, a strike or a ball, because damn it, it ain't no strike zone. So
we're already getting the pre-excuses.
So Marlins and Cardinals tickets all spring long. Come and celebrate your birthdays, anniversaries, VIP batting practice, of course, before the games themselves. RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com or stop by the ticket office.
The Mets are in town tomorrow, too, so we can see Juan Soto and Theo Dorsey.
Juan Soto, who became a topic of conversation around here because people can't take, it wasn't a joke. I just overestimated my own abilities. Then I started pitching a little bit, and I realized how hard it is to get Juan Soto out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It took you to throw a baseball to decide that you might not be able to get Juan Soto out?
See, I knew that I would not get Juan Soto out with skill. That's not what I was trying to tell you. What I was saying is
sleight of hand and deception and the element of surprise.
Look there. Boom. Yeah. Got him. We're done.
Throw sand in his face.
What I was saying is I've seen enough home run derbies to know at least one of them things will get popped short. We'll get one out of 10 at-bats. Again, he will whoop my tail up and down that diamond. I'm not saying I obviously don't even know. I learned how to pitch last week.
So we never actually talked about that aspect of the conversation. We talked about whether or not you're going to throw a strike at 62 miles per hour last week.
Yes.
But the other element of the conversation was you believed if Juan Soto
10 at-bats.
And
he's batting right.
Because he's a lefty.
Right.
So he would batting with his offhand.
And I'm left-handed.
Okay.
So he's batting with his offhand because he usually bats left. He will be batting right in this scenario. And I will be pitching left. Advantage Theo.
Okay, so you think that in 10 at-bats or
10 at-bats.
Pitches? Okay. 10 at-bats, you would get Juan Soto out once.
One time.
We got your regular defense behind you.
Yeah. I got a major league defense behind me. Not regular. I mean, they're regular. That's like a league average.
I actually think you're right.
Thank you.
I actually think
Thank you. Somebody finally with some sense. Everybody tried to laugh me out of the damn office the other day. I'm like, dude, I'm not saying that I'm that great. It's hard to hit a baseball out of the park every single time.
Now I'm coming back because you would have to not walk him. And that's where the crux of the issue for me is. It's not about doubting Juan Soto's abilities, because I am doubting his abilities to bat right-handed.
Yeah, he's batting right-handed too.
I'm doubting whether or not you're able to actually throw pitches that are able to be hit. Because you might go ball four, take your base, ball four, take your base. Seriously, that's a legitimate concern because it happens like in minor league baseball.
Yeah.
It happens in amateur baseball.
Every level.
Every level. Like if you're not used to throwing on the mound, you might not find the strike zone. And maybe you have 4 at-bats to figure that out until eventually Juan Soto gets bored and tired of it and he swings at something out of the zone and tops it or pops it up.
Yeah.
I think it's a very believable scenario, which I'm interested in what the audience of Theoretically Speaking, what their fans have to say.
About me getting out on Juan Soto, who's batting right-handed, by the way, which is not his strong hand.
So Theo's never played baseball in his life?
Yeah, never played.
You ever play on a softball team?
No, I mean, so it's not fair for me to say I never played baseball. I did play baseball like in PE, but I didn't play baseball or was never on an organized team. Right. Yeah,
I think it's fair to say you were never on a baseball team.
Yeah, no.
Did you ever play on a softball team?
No.
So Theo Dorsey, who is a pretty good athlete for a non-professional athlete, just a pretty good athlete. You stay active, you go to the gym.
Yeah.
But you never played baseball.
No.
Theo Dorsey on the mound, pitching to the best of his ability to Juan Soto, who is not batting left-handed, which is how he normally bats.
Yeah.
Batting from the right side of the plate. 10 at-bats. Can Theo Dorsey get him out once with a major league defense behind him? I think the answer is yes.
Thank you.
I don't think Juan Soto is going to not get out.
All it takes, and also, again, all it takes is just one. All it takes is one pop fly. All it takes is one, like an infield ground ball that we're able to skip over to first. Again, I'm not going to be the one fielding and throwing it to first, hopefully.
Please
if it comes
call
at
in.
me.
Please call in because I want to know what the general public thinks.
All right, 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Could I get an out on Juan Soto in 10 at-bats, not just 10 pitches, in 10 at-bats, could I get one out on Juan Soto if he was batting righty? Which, again, he's a left-handed batter. And this conversation all sprouted from the fact that I'll be throwing out the first pitch tomorrow at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium ahead of the spring training game where the Cardinals are taking on the Mets at Roger Dean. So, and I have a lot of respect for baseball players. Also, one thing I'll say is as I was also golfing, whenever you golf with a baseball player, one thing I've noticed that they do much more astute than any other athlete or any other people in general, they have such good eyes. They have such good eyes. Like, it don't matter where your drive is hit or where the ball is hit in general. Usually it's off the tee where it's hard, or you can lose it. They have such good eyes of tracking the thing down. Their swings always look very pretty. Baseball players are incredible athletes. I have a lot of respect for Mookie Betts and the many sports he can exceed in. But again, I'm a confident young man. And when it comes to sports in general, I'm like that. I'm an athlete, and I can get an out on Juan Soto. Who we got here at CCAT?
Got Joe in Palm Beach Gardens.
Joe's in Palm Beach Gardens. Joe's in Palm Beach Gardens. He's on Theoretically Speaking. Joe, how we doing today, Joe? We good on a Tuesday?
Yeah, we're doing great on Tuesday. Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm feeling confident about myself. I think I can get Juan Soto out in 10 at-bats. What do you say?
Well, he would have to get himself out because you're not going to get him out on your pitching. So probably one of those times he'll hit it to somebody that gets out. But other than that, he's going to rip you.
Thank you. I agree. I'm not going to strike him. You thought I was going to strike out Juan Soto?
No.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
Get
him once.
You may get 10 line drives at you directly at you before he makes an out.
I was about to say,
so chuck and duck is what I'm saying.
I will throw it and drop and just hit the ground, hit a belly flop. And thank you for the call, Joe. I do not need to be a part of the fielding of the baseball. I actually just bought my first baseball glove last week. Baseball was not a sport we frequented at all in my household growing up. It wasn't a sport that was even heavily marketed around where I was at and how I was kicking it, so it wasn't something I got into.
We got one more caller. Billy from Port St. Lucie wants to weigh in.
I know Billy got confident in me. Billy is in Port St. Lucie. You're on Theoretically Speaking. Billy, what's your confidence level in me getting an out on Juan Soto? 10 at-bats.
10 at-bats, I give you an 8, but I also say you might have better luck if you throw lefty you might have better luck if he's actually hitting left-handed because, he might mismanage it, misjudge it. Maybe he gets under a ball. I got confidence. I think you could get him out.
See, no way,
but
Billy.
that's the problem.
If Juan Soto's batting in his normal stance, and you think Theo's going to get him out because of a lefty-on-lefty matchup?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Have you seen position players go in and in late innings and they're throwing meatballs? You think everyone's going to go out of the park. It might not happen that way.
Thank you. Billy, you're a genius. Billy, we appreciate your call. One of the greatest calls we've had here on Theoretically Speaking. That was the first time I got directly one-to-one comp to a position player in a Major League Baseball.
I mean, Anthony Rizzo often takes the mound, and he just lobs it over the plate. He's lefty.
There you go. I can do that. I can do what Anthony Rizzo does.
10 chances.
10 at bats.
And Juan Soto knows that the challenge at hand
just not
is
get out.
Not get out.
Yeah.
That's difficult.
Bunt? If he can't bunt because I got to catch her. I got to catch her.
Yeah, you got to catch
10
it
times.
there,
But
that might be better to initiate an error from you. If he's going to make you field the ball, bunt it, and you got to field your position.
I could get him out. I can get him out.
I don't know about that. That's going to be
that'll be tough, though.
Throwing as a pitcher halfway between home plate and the mound to first base while a runner is busting down the line will be more difficult for you than throwing over the plate to Juan Soto.
Wait, so you're saying fielding a bunt and getting it to first would be more difficult than just getting it across the plate.
In a live in-game situation, that's why you see so many E1s in Major League Baseball.
It is rough.
Especially with the pressure in a non-simulated moment, yeah.
Bubba in the YouTube chat says, Bubba says, obviously Theo can do it. We are just living in Theo's world. Oh, yeah.
We are not living in Theo's world.
Why are we not living?
If you can do it, we're living in your fantasy. Imagine striking out Juan Soto. I don't care if he's batting right-handed, left-handed, if he's batting with no hands. That would feel good.
It would feel great. I mean, so anytime you can do anything against a professional athlete, you feel a little bit like it's just like a little sense of gratitude, a little joy. Back a few years ago, at another ballpark out here, I actually in BP, I got a hit off of Livan Hernandez.
Well, Ivan Hernandez?
Ivan.
Pudge Rodriguez, like the nickname.
What?
No, I'm asking. I'm just making sure if I heard you correctly.
No, not Pudge. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from the Marlins.
Okay.
97 World Series MVP.
So, was he throwing you batting practice? You
Yeah,
said
he
was in
was.
BP. Okay, so he wasn't trying to get you out.
No, he wasn't.
He was making sure that you made
not.
contact.
Yeah, but he still threw the pitch, and I got a hit, and it was fair.
That is
no good.
You might as well have put the ball on a tee for you. That's the same thing that happened. It does not matter who's throwing BP.
It does.
It
does.
The objective of the BP thrower is for you to get a hit.
Felt great. He pitched it. I hit it. It was fair. Felt great. Ran to first. Felt good to me. You can't steal. You're trying to steal that joy away from me again. These are small accomplishments. I know I'm not going to actually get a hit off of a real Major League Baseball pitcher if he's trying to get me out. But,
but it's a bigger accomplishment if you were to get a hit off yourself. If you got a hit off of the equivalent of Theo Dorsey on the mound during BP, that is more difficult than a professional baseball player throwing BP.
I see what you're saying. He's skilled at least getting it over. Now, I will say the first one he threw me was way outside.
Oh, yeah?
What the hell's going on? He's lost his touch. Got to get control of that thing, baby. It's only going like 40 miles an hour. What are you doing? So, and then also, obviously, the Sugar Ray Leonard thing. I took like 18 jabs to the stomach from Sugar Ray Leonard.
We should talk about
Boxing
that
champion.
more often because that's gone viral online.
It has gone viral. In fact,
real viral, not Stephen A. Smith viral. Like this is viral in a legitimate sense where the algorithm is broken. And if you go on YouTube.com and you search Sugar Ray Leonard, you will see Sugar Ray Leonard punching Theo in the gut when Theo thinks they're just posing for a picture.
people have been ripping the video and posting it all over different socials. There's one dude tagged me in this thing that had like 20,000 likes or something on Instagram. What the heck is this? And it's me getting whooped by Sugar Ray Leonard. No mention of me. Just like, oh, Sugar Ray still got it. I'm like, yeah, well, guess who else got it? Right to the gut, me. At least get a tag in that. Just rip the video. That's the problem of going with having stuff that goes viral. You just become the people's property.
Yeah, you just become, the pink suit guy. You just become that person. That's the only thing you're known for. And it's actually kind of embarrassing.
It gets embarrassing, especially when you're like the butt of the joke. Like I was the one getting whooped on. Pink suit guy was the one that got berated at the press conference.
And you got put in a headlock after you got punched in the kidney? That's tough, man.
He did.
And then he immediately asked for – this is Sugar Ray Leonard.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
World heavyweight champion boxer.
World champion. Also a guy Olympic gold medalist.
Who
still wants to get in that ring, too, I can tell.
Who found so much enjoyment on punching you. So much as though is that he immediately asked for the instant replay.
He did.
Like, this guy
He said, "Let me
was
see
fighting
that."
in front of millions on TV, hundreds of thousands in person.
Yeah.
But he still scratched that itch of fighting with Theo Dorsey.
Yes. And I could tell he enjoyed every moment of that thing. Don't be surprised if we see Sugar Ray Leonard make a return to boxing in one of these Netflix specials now, because you can tell when somebody has been missing something for so long. He had the amount of joy you would have if you just saw a resident or a relative touchdown from an international trip. You ain't seen him in 3 years. Like, his eyes was lit up. He was so happy when he watched the tape back as well. He was so happy at the display he put on me. By the way, too, with the Sugar Ray Leonard thing, and people, I keep getting messages and stuff. Had a buddy that I hadn't talked to in like 10 years hit me up. Was like, yo, is this you for real? I've done a lot of work in this past decade. A lot of work that I'm proud of. A lot of videos I've worked hard on. A lot of stories I've put together and I thought I pieced together craftfully and masterfully. Nobody ever wants to hit me up about that. But when I become the punching bag of Sugar Ray Leonard, all of a sudden everybody's phone works. We got a show going, theoretically speaking, almost a year. Nobody hits me up about that. That's all about Sugar Ray Leonard.
And you know what? I feel it's my job to play the audio for the radio audience, because if you didn't catch it last week, you missed a great segment of radio, and this is what it sounded like when Sugar Ray Leonard just gut punched Theo and then went back to him like he's a speed bag. It was just, it was embarrassing.
This is what I normally do to my opponents.
Oh my God. Yeah, those were all punches delivered to the stomach of Theo Dorsey.
And he didn't tell me we were doing that. I asked for a picture. We had just got done doing an interview, and somebody else lined up and did a picture. My guy, Shane Wright, PBF, 25. He goes and gets a picture with Sugar Ray. I said, I would like a picture as well. I say, hey, Sugar, appreciate you, everything. And can I get a picture? He's like, yeah, for sure. And right before we were about to snap the picture, he tells the guy that was helping us, Glenn, he said, hey, actually change that to a video. And I'm like, is he going to say something like, hey, subscribe to Theoretically Speaking, ESPN 106.3, 2 to 4 o'clock? No.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he said
it was his choice to make it a video, not a picture.
So after he said, can we make it a video, I was like, okay, so I'm thinking he's going to want to say something because he saw us with ESPN, and I think he wants to promote something with me. And he turns back to me, and he says, put your hands up.
Oh, I thought you chose to put your hands up.
No, absolutely not. I didn't ask for that. I thought we were going to take a picture. So I said, okay, I'll put my hands up. And I'm thinking he'll just do a couple of hits to my hands.
You put your hands up like a boxing coach does. He was holding gloves that a boxer would train with. Not that you were in a simulated, the weight? What's the name?
Sparring or a punching bag? Or what?
No, when they're promoting a fight, the weigh-in.
Weigh-in. Yes,
right.
Yeah.
It was not a simulated weigh-in where sometimes when guys meet UFC fighters, they jokingly do a fake weigh-in with the guy, and then they dap him up afterwards, and it's fun because you're pretending to be a fighter. No, you put your hands up like a boxing coach.
Yes.
Open palms.
Yes. Might I say he's got some massive paws for a dude that's like, he's not that tall, like 5'9", 5'10" probably now. He probably's gotten a little shorter as the age with that. Massive hands. And yeah, I put my hands up thinking he was just going to do a little pop, 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 for video. I'm thinking, all right, this will be great. This is kind of cool. People are going to love this back home. And out of nowhere, he just starts, he actually hit me. I was in shock. I don't even remember the rest of the hits. The first one, people asked me if it hurt. Hell yeah, but it didn't hurt that bad because I was put in the shock. I was like, I was like, what the hell? Did he just hit me?
It would hurt more if you were anticipating it.
Yes, 100%, which I guess I'm glad he didn't let me know he was about to actually hit me.
What % of you in Theo's brain and Theo's heart thought about returning a blow?
None of it.
You got hit how many? Did you ever count how many times in hindsight? Because you got hit around double digits. You're like, wait a second.
Somehow it was.
You guys punking me. I got to stand up for myself. And you started getting in a boxing match with Sugar Ray Leonard.
When things, that would be hilarious. So when I don't know what to do, oftentimes I laugh.
Yeah.
When
That's
I have
a natural reaction.
Yeah, that is my go-to when things are awkward, when things are super serious, when things are funny, obviously. But I laugh a lot. And so all I could think is, I don't want anybody to think that I'm egging this on. I don't want to trigger any instincts in this guy who is literally, saying he used to get paid to really do this for real. Because don't forget, before this little sparring me and Sugar Ray Leonard had, he had just showed us he walked us through his career. He walked us through him, beating up Tommy Hitman Hearns. He walked us through the no mas in New Orleans against Morant. Like I watched all of that before this. You think I'm about to trigger his natural boxing instincts and he really started welling on me?
Sugar Ray Leonard said, I ruined his life, yes. Broke his ribs. Yeah.
He made that dude quit. No mas. He said, I'm done. He made a dude quit in the middle of the ring, in the middle of a boxing match. And you think I'm going to think about striking back? Hell no. I was thinking, I want everybody to realize I have nothing to do with this. Please, sir, stop hitting me. When is this going to end? And then finally, he put me in the headlock afterwards and it gave me my piece.
So the reality that we resulted in was eventually you guys just hugging afterwards, whatever, laughing about it. But I don't know, alternate reality is that Sugar Ray Leonard, for some reason, a switch flipped, and he starts beating you up for real.
I know, that's the
So, like, what happens there? Do you just kind of, like, get in the fetal position and ask for help?
Yes.
Hey!
Now, again, most other people, I would defend myself. I would try. There's nothing I can do in that. Did you see how fast his hands were?
Yes.
There's nothing I can do. He already showed me what he could do, and I said, well, I thought my hands were pretty quick. They're not that fast, sir. I concede this loss. Yeah. At that point, I'm asking people to step in. And by the way, nobody in that room stepped in.
Yeah, it seemed like they were a little too comfortable with this.
They were just like they were like an audience to a boxing match. Damn it, I didn't sign a waiver. I didn't sign up for this in general. And I also did not volunteer to be put on display for everybody to just enjoy me getting beat up.
In the video posted online, just go to youtube.com/@ESPN West Palm. Go check it out for yourself. It's gone ridiculously viral, and everyone's saying that there's a lawsuit on your hands. Have you had any thoughts about pursuing legal action?
See, no, because I'm too much. I'm a G, man. I can't get my tail whooped on video and then also go suing the brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I look like in court? Like,
you gotta show.
I got a wife, man. I'll have kids one day. I don't want them thinking their dad's a punk.
You got to show up in the classic like neck roll.
Yeah.
The broken neck thing where you're injured.
Well, and that's the other part of it too. The other problem is if I wanted to be able to sue, I should have just laid out on the ground after all of those hits.
Mm-hmm.
I should have just laid out, tongue out. That was my only opportunity. I lost it. So no, Sugar Ray Leonard, man, much love to the legend. Much love to him. Also, one of the things I told him, I said, bruh, great nicknames have been fading away in sports. Like, I know he got his, obviously, the moniker from Sugar Ray Robinson and whatnot, but great nicknames like Sugar Ray and whatnot, like Tommy the Hitman Hearns and he ain't got it no more. We need people like him to maybe spark some new ideas for folks. I hate what NBA Twitter is turning into these days. On the other side, we have to get around. We have some headlines to get to, plus the happy hour. And again, in the meantime, go check the video out on YouTube at ESPN West Palm. Sugar Ray Leonard, 20-piece and me. It was fun. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Mark your calendars. Baseball is back on March 27th. You've never seen an opening day like this before. It's Marlins baseball infused with the 305 to create opening day. Get ready to kick off Sandy's comeback season and stay tuned for surprise icons stepping up for the first pitch and lighting up the post-game concert. This is a can't-miss global event, and it's happening right here in Miami. The whole world is invited, so get your tickets today at marlins.com/tickets.
The school district of Palm Beach County is your best choice.
It's time to step into kindergarten. Parents, the school district of Palm Beach County is now enrolling kindergarten students for the upcoming school year. Register now at palmbeachschools.org/kindergarten. Find out when to attend your school's kindergarten kickoff and how to get your free kindergarten readiness kit. That's palmbeachschools.org/kindergarten.
Don't just stand there. Everything you need to turn $1 into an epic win is in your hand. Hard Rock Bet. Bet it, parlay it, boost it. However you want to do it. From wherever you are to the moon. Bet anytime a line, prop, or parlay catches your eye. And withdraw cash when you want it. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Win your first bet or get up to $100 back in bonus bets. Payable in bonus bet up to $100. Not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Hi, Kevin Dalton here from the Unlimited Auto Wash. Enjoy unlimited inside and out hand washes for just $49.95 per month. And during January and February, if you join our club, you'll only pay $25 a month for the first 2 months and then $49.95 thereafter. For more info, call 561-WASH-ME-TOO.
Eats, drinks, scenic views, all at Twin Peaks. Not quite ready for the craziness of March basketball? No worries. Twin Peaks has you covered. With games airing all month long, you can catch every shot during the legendary Twin Peaks Happy Hour. Whatever your vibe, Twin Peaks has it all, including their signature 29-degree draft beers. And for the true bourbon connoisseurs, dive into the exclusive Twin Peaks collection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas. Nobody does it like Twin Peaks. Come for the game, stay for the experience.
Hi, I'm Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. As you have likely seen and heard, law firm advertising is at an all-time high. Attorney ads seem to be part of every radio and TV commercial segment. Some firms are even using paid actors and actresses to speak for them. At Smith Ball Baez and Prather, we know that the decision to hire a law firm should never be based on advertisements alone. It is our past results and many positive 5-star reviews that we encourage you to read at smithball.com to learn more about our law firm. We have board-certified lawyers. We have lawyers listed in the best lawyers in America and in super lawyers. But most importantly, we have experienced lawyers located right here in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast that are ready to be your advocate and your voice, and fully prepared to start fighting for your legal rights today. Our purpose, legal power. Our mission, huge results. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Breaking news on ESPN 1063 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 1063 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 1063 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 1063 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Introducing the bold, the powerful, the all-new 2025 Range Rover Sport P360 SE. A luxury SUV that commands attention with its refined design, dynamic performance, and cutting-edge technology. Lease the 2025 Range Rover Sport for just $12.99 per month for 36 months. Drive in style, power, and comfort, all for just $12.99 a month. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and take the new Range Rover Sport for a spin. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
This spring, speed returns to South Florida. NASCAR weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. Go get it done. Green. Where high octane meets the high banks. And gear up for spring break in the fast lane. 3 races, 3 days, one unforgettable weekend in racing paradise. NASCAR weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. March 21st through the 23rd. Get your tickets now at homesteadmiamispeedway.com.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. It's the happy hour, baby. It's the happy hour on Theoretically Speaking as we enter the 3 o'clock hour. Just vibing on a Tuesday. Just vibing. C-Cat on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. Big shout out. Happy birthday to our guy Bubba. Turned 47 today.
Nice.
Let us know that in the YouTube chat. And, you know, he's showing some love to Sugar Ray Leonard, who, by the way, at 68, Sugar Ray has not lost probably 5% of that speed off of those hands. And I learned that the hard way. C-Cat, you have this unmitigated faith, this very strange asphyxiation on, and that was the wrong way. It was fixation, actually.
It's not choking me.
Yeah, well, it might be. It might be if you continue to bring it up every single day. And it's about one man, Aaron Rodgers, going to one city, Minneapolis, in which I think that would be a match made in hell. But the funny thing is, when you brought this up, what was it, like 2 weeks ago or so? Really, as soon as it got announced that Rodgers was leaving the Jets.
Yeah, this has been my favorite destination for Aaron Rodgers. I know that we can make all the Brett Favre jokes we want. Favre 2 years in New York, then going to Minnesota. I don't care. I think it's the best environment for him. I think it is the best match make for him.
So the first quarterback domino to fall this offseason since we started doing this dominoes were it was Geno Smith, right? Was it Geno Smith to the Raiders? First
Matt
one?
Stafford, I guess.
Matt Stafford staying in L.A. That was number one. That took Stafford off the table. The next best prize was then, I guess, Geno Smith getting traded to the Raiders, opening the door for Sam Darnold to go to the Seahawks. We're starting to run thin. Now, I think there's only 2 left after now we've gotten all the way down to Daniel Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to bring up Daniel Jones in segment 1 of the show, so the well's getting dry.
You know when you get to DJ in 2025, the year of our Lord, you know you have made it a long way. The journey is almost over.
Malik Willis locked up yet? Are we going to get to him next?
I hear Dan Orlovsky's looking for work.
Okay. Just strap on the pads again. He's all talk nowadays.
Just saying. But the only 2 quarterbacks that are, seemingly left that might be available, that might get another job are the 2 guys that returned from Achilles injuries last year, Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. The 2 oldest quarterbacks also off of the scrap heap in Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. Do you have any inclination on the Kirk Cousins thing? Because I know you want Rodgers to Minneapolis. We'll get to Rodgers to the Vikings and why I think it's a terrible decision. Have you heard anything about Kirk Cousins?
I haven't heard the name Kirk Cousins mentioned anywhere, in any conversation, in any circle, in any Twitter post. I think we're closer to Kirk Cousins retiring than Kirk Cousins signing with any other team.
The only team I've seen linked with him is the Browns, and just as I've Googled Cousins' name, it literally is only the Browns that they're saying. So that means one of 2 things. Either he has no destination, but his camp, his agent, and by the way, Kirk Cousins, whoever the hell's been representing this dude since he's entered the league, best agent, he should go in the can.
Mm-hmm.
Or she. I don't know who the hell it is. Haven't looked into it. His representation should go in the Canton for how many bags he has gotten, and you compare his bags, and you comp that up to his level of play and the way he has not led to success in the many places he's been. This guy's a professional bag getter, and he's made it happen. The Browns is the only team we're hearing, so it's either one of 2 things. Either they're throwing the Browns out there to create traction for Kirk Cousins because it looks even worse for there to be no teams linked to you, or it's pretty much a done deal that he's going to be in Cleveland. Stopgap.
Even Zach Wilson's off the table. Signed a 1-year contract with the Miami Dolphins.
Just like I was saying, I feel bad for Mavericks fans, C-Cat. I'm starting to turn that leaf and feel that way for Dolphins fans because I'm not sure what you can glean from Zach Wilson being now your backup quarterback. And everything is obviously tied to Tua's health. So the backup quarterback on the Dolphins is like maybe the 2nd or 3rd most important backup quarterback in the league.
So I think you go as far as to say, to loop everything full circle, if anyone should be paying their backup quarterback $14 million on a one-year contract, it should be the Miami Dolphins with Daniel Jones. That would make sense.
That's exactly why I say the DJ contract not only was an overpay, it was disrespectful to their current starting quarterback, Anthony Richardson, because it not only signaled this is a true quarterback competition, it signals, because you got to follow the money in these salary cap sports, it signals not only is this a quarterback competition, this guy's in a pole position. This guy right here with the bigger bank. Yeah. Daniel Jones. He's the guy that we're favoring right now. So step it up, Rich.
So Zach Wilson is the backup quarterback for the Miami Dolphins.
What was the deal? 1 year, $2 million or something like that?
A 1 year deal, $6 million.
$6 million. So he's getting paid almost a third of what Daniel Jones is getting paid. Zach Wilson to back up Tua. And he probably, if all things go right for both franchises, is likely, again, you're the coach. If you're the coach, you're hoping Richardson wins the job in the camp. He also starts through the season and he plays well. If you're the Dolphins, you hope Tua stays healthy. I think it's more likely to me that Zach Wilson starts more games for the Dolphins than Daniel Jones starts for the Colts.
They just have such high ceilings and such low floors.
Yeah.
Both those quarterback situations.
Who would you rather have, though, Wilson or DJ as a backup?
As backups. I was talking about like the starting quarterbacks in these two situations.
That too. Richardson and Tua.
At the price they were taken for, or just if you take
at
the
price, I think
it's
obvious Zach Wilson, but let's take price
Daniel
out of it.
Jones. I think I still would. Daniel Jones still showed more promise than Zach Wilson ever did at this level.
Hey, man, all I know is you want Aaron. This is a trap door, by the way, that I just put you into. You just said you want Aaron Rodgers to go to the Vikings and be their savior, and Zach Wilson won more games with the same Jets roster than what Aaron Rodgers was able to do last year. And you're out on Zach. I don't get it.
Hey,
I don't get it.
I'm going to crawl out of the trap door. I'm absolutely going to crawl out of the trap door because the Vikings would not have to pay Aaron Rodgers what the Jets paid Aaron Rodgers. They would get a significantly less amount of money as a plan A at quarterback with immediate plan B sitting there, J.J. McCarthy in the wings.
Why is he a plan B? Why would J.J. McCarthy be a plan B?
Because it worked out for the Packers and Jordan Love.
If Rodgers got less production out of the Jets, and again, they fortified that roster even more for Rodgers in that second year after the Achilles tear. He got less wins, less production out of the Jets offense than Zach Wilson did the year before.
It's one situation. It's one situation where there has not been historical success. You are now going into recent history success with the Minnesota Vikings, who won 14 games last year with Sam Darnold, who we believe might flop, crash, and burn with the Seahawks. I think Aaron Rodgers is a significant increase in production and talent at quarterback than Sam Darnold was.
He's not, because they both played football last year. In fact, they played against each other, and one of those dudes threw the game away, whereas the other guy threw a couple of big touchdowns that put the game away. And that's Sam Darnold getting the win over Aaron Rodgers, by the way. Also, for Aaron Rodgers, I don't understand what makes you think that this guy would be something that would help. Because, again, no matter who they get, the future is J.J. McCarthy. We can agree.
Yes.
Kevin O'Connell believes in the future of that quarterback out of Michigan.
But also, yes, I believe that.
Yeah.
But we're seeing how quickly organizations are willing to give up on their quarterbacks. So if you start them too early, maybe the future isn't J.J. McCarthy in 2027.
Unless you are a competent franchise and you have a legitimate coach in your locker room like Kevin O'Connell. He's proven himself to be a guy that can squeeze the most out of his players offensively. That's why Sam Darnold performed so well in the regular season, 14 wins for them. I don't want to talk about what happened in the last couple of games. That's neither here nor there. But it's also why Kevin O'Connell, I think, has the confidence to say JJ's ready now. He had a year to learn my system. I was able to work with him, and he didn't have to go out there and play under fire. We didn't have to throw him out there too early. I believe they feel like it's time for him. And the two things that signal that to me is, number one, they didn't even franchise tag Sam Darnold. They let him walk for free, for nothing. That's number one. Number two, you had Daniel Jones in-house, and you said, I think we're good. $14 million especially. We're definitely good because we know what we have in our quarterback room here. And I don't understand why you would mess up that chemistry or that amount of faith in a guy like J.J. McCarthy to go and get Aaron Rodgers, who we both know Rodgers doesn't come to your facility this year to back up anybody. If he comes, he's coming to start. And you at the very least owe J.J. McCarthy an opportunity to get on the field this year or to play his way through camp and win the quarterback battle and show what he's got after a year of sitting, after how frustrating I'm sure that rehab journey has been for him. You owe that to J.J. McCarthy at least to give him a bite at the apple, a shot, and bringing in Rodgers does the exact opposite.
1 year of Rodgers, the situation is understood.
What?
That Rodgers is there for two things.
What do you think J.J. would say?
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. I never had a chance to really prove anything yet. Rodgers has a 20-year NFL career to back up that he might be able to win with this Vikings roster right now.
He hasn't been good since J.J. was in high school. Last time Aaron Rodgers was good, J.J. McCarthy was throwing the ball to, kids that just got out of sixth grade science.
Sure, they missed the playoffs, but Rodgers was not a bad quarterback in his last season with the Packers. They missed the playoffs.
Yes, he was.
He blemish on his record.
Yeah, it was a bad season. That was a bad season, especially for a guy. Like, if he missed the playoffs with that roster, with that team, and he missed it by losing to the Lions, I believe, at home in the last game of the regular season,
Yes.
so that was pretty much a playoff game. If we're going to knock Sam Darnold for the Week 18 loss against the Lions, we got to knock Aaron Rodgers for that same voyage in which he didn't even make the postseason. He did that, and that was, 22? That was 22.
Yeah, because injured 23, played all 2024 with the Jets.
Right. So his last good year was 2021. That wasn't a good year in 22. You can't just give him a attaboy, a pat on the back. That was a bad year, especially if you don't make the playoffs.
Yeah, he also, I believe, did he not have Devontae Adams that year either?
No, he didn't.
Okay. He was kind of throwing the plumbers and
Jordan Love didn't have
architects.
Devontae Adams the next year. Guess where the Packers ended their season? With a playoff win. Very next season. So, again, I'm giving you data points that are directly tied to Aaron Rodgers. I'm giving you the quarterback that was in the position he was in the year before and the quarterback he was in the position the year after. And in both cases, Rodgers was the worst performing one. And we're talking about Zach Wilson and Jordan Love here. They hope J.J. McCarthy's better than both of those dudes. That's what they hope the future is like with J.J. in Minneapolis.
But signing Aaron Rodgers does not mean that you automatically are getting rid of J.J. McCarthy or that J.J. McCarthy can't start week 5 if you realize this was a mistake.
No, why would you do that? You're not bringing in a future Hall of Fame quarterback to bench him 4 games in anyways. And if you think that's a possibility, what's the point of even bringing the old fart in, who, by the way, was terrible last year? And he was terrible with all of the pieces in place that he wanted. His offensive coordinator, his buddy Devontae Adams, who's also apparently a really good receiver still by the way that the Rams paid him. He had Garrett Wilson, who should be a top 10 receiver in the league this year. Tyler Conklin's a good receiving option. Really good running game. They fortified the offensive line. And what did Rodgers get you? 5 wins. Because he's old, he can't move, and he's afraid of pressure. He's more afraid of pressure than Jared Goff these days because he can't move. He's scared to get hurt again. Just throwing the ball, hiking and throw it.
One situation. At the Jets situation, you do not often win with the Jets. And he was another data point of that.
He told us he would do it, though.
Sure, and he didn't. And we can all agree that Aaron Rodgers is not a good GM. If he goes to the Vikings, it would be vastly different in the process. The result is TBD in that it actually happens and if it actually works. But you're going from a functional franchise from a dysfunctional franchise with the Jets, where the roles would be very clearly defined that his job is to get J.J. McCarthy ready for the future and win now. Because a very humbling situation for Aaron Rodgers with the Jets. He cannot deny that him playing GM, him playing culture setter, didn't work.
I wish I could remember who told me this recently, but because I want to credit, it was a great saying. He said, "You never see a duck hanging out with a goose." What the hell are you talking about? Country ass. And what he was saying is, this is what his coaches and the people that mentored him in his life always told him is, you don't want to be hanging out with somebody who is not like you, that is not equally yoked as you, that doesn't have the same characteristics, personality, the same drive, the same motivation, the same moral ethics. You don't want to be tied in with somebody who is walking a walk that you don't actually align with. What about Aaron Rodgers gives he should be big brother to J.J. McCarthy, outside of the fact that they play the same position?
If that's his only option, he still wants to play football.
Who? Rodgers?
Yes.
No, Rodgers would. First of all, I think Aaron Rodgers would sign up tomorrow to play for the Minnesota Vikings, and able to do so. It's not like it's a contract dispute or anything like that. He's getting paid $30 million anyways by the Jets. They could pay him the veteran minimum. It could be the same thing that Russell Wilson did. He'll be fairly, what do you call it?
Compensated.
Compensated. So money's not the issue here, and situation's not the issue. That's a perfect situation. I'm telling you, the Vikings don't want nothing to do with that dude. And I never, ever, on any topic in the NFL specifically or food, agree with this man. But here is, and again, if I'm throwing to this dude, you know it must be raining or it must be a hailstorm in hell. Here's Dan Orlovsky on Rodgers to the Vikings.
That would be a mistake by the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota, you've made the determination, the decision to allow Sam Darnold to go. You've now declared, listen, this is more than likely J.J. McCarthy's football team, and we want it to be J.J. McCarthy's football team. Aaron comes with a lot. Whether people like it or not, it's a lot. Do not bring that into your building. Do not bring that into your football team. You're handing the keys over to a young player and saying, this is going to be your opportunity.
Yes.
Lead us forward. And bringing Aaron Rodgers in is going to hinder that in some capacity, stunt that in some capacity.
No, I'm pointing at you. You go. What do you got to say for yourself?
What I would say is let's think about the other young quarterback who sat behind Aaron Rodgers, who had less promise and less guarantee that he would see the field in the near future, and that was Jordan Love. And how was that experience for Jordan Love? Yeah, stunted is not the word that I would use. In fact, I would use the word grateful for Jordan Love, and he would too.
3 years was awesome, man. Obviously, when you come out of college, you feel good. You go to the league, you're like, man, I killed it in college. I know what I'm doing. Like, I'm smart. I got to Green Bay. I seen him practicing. I seen him in the meeting room, and I was like, man, this is a different level, like a different level. Not even that alone, man. Once I saw him on the field and just saw the throws he made, it was like, bro, I thought I was good, but this like is humbling.
And that was, of course, Jordan Love talking about his experience as a rookie with Aaron Rodgers. And that, of course, was Aaron Rodgers before an Achilles injury and before that age kind of won the war against Aaron Rodgers. But we've never heard Jordan Love say a bad thing about his experience with Aaron Rodgers. So I expect J.J. McCarthy seems to be mature. Jordan Love is very mature. I think we have a similar experience, especially with a much more humble Aaron Rodgers. Because how can you not be humble after the last 2 years with gangrene?
I want to validate your feelings around this so badly, C-Cat. The issue I have is all Jordan Love described to us was watching an MVP quarterback play from close up for a couple of years. That's all he talked about. He didn't say anything about how Aaron Rodgers was as a mentor to him, as a guiding figure to him, how Aaron Rodgers walked him through how he could do this, that, and the next. If you want J.J. McCarthy to watch some Rodgers film, then damn it, sign me up too. In fact, let's all watch Rodgers film. Instead of watching Aaron Rodgers take another NFL snap in 2025, let's just watch film of him from 2021 and before. Preferably not playoff film because he lost a lot of big games in that stretch as well, except for that one season. Rodgers, you can't tell me that that's a dude that's been impacted in a way that he actually cares deeply about that relationship with Aaron Rodgers. That sounds like a dude who's saying the right things in the media because, like you said, he's a mature person, and he got to watch a dude play at the peak of his powers for a couple of years. Like, what are the people in New York saying about Aaron Rodgers?
Not many good things.
Nobody says anything bad, though. The funny thing is none of his teammates talk down on him, and I think that's kind of a locker room code type thing anyways, because there's very few quarterbacks or people in general that have former teammates come out and badmouth them. It was so jarring to watch what happened to Russell Wilson post his Seahawks career.
Yeah, the polar opposite.
They hated him. And part of that, I do believe, was the decision by Pete Carroll on the goal line in Super Bowl 43, I think it was, against the Patriots, where you could have handed it off to Marshawn Lynch, but there was a feeling that the reason why they threw the ball instead of handing it off to Lynch was that they wanted Russ to get the MVP because he didn't get it the year before. That was was the Legion of Boom's whole thing.
Yeah, that's a resentment that lingers, and for good reason.
Yeah, like they were ultimately hurt and never recovered from that one play, not to mention the fact that Russell Wilson also, what we've learned since, including his tenure with the Broncos, kind of like a standoffish, it's me and then y'all kind of guy. He's kind of like a middle management kind of guy. He plays into the whole quarterback as middle management thing more than players like to appreciate. And again, if you're one of the Seahawks guys, you're like, what the hell? You were a third-round pick who got brought in to have a quarterback battle with Matt Flynn. You know, only thing more embarrassing than a quarterback battle with Matt Flynn is a quarterback battle with Daniel Jones. That's what Russell Wilson got drafted into, for real. And then he starts to act like he's this elitist type guy. I think that rubbed a lot of his teammates the wrong way. At least Rodgers had the skill to go with it. Nobody talks poorly about the dude. But I don't see anybody telling these great stories of how Rodgers positively impacted their football career. Look at Davante Adams. He could have waited out for where Rodgers is going this year and linked up with him again.
You think the Vikings would have signed with Davante Adams?
Hell yeah. If the Rams paid him $26 a year, the Vikings would have found some money to give to him. Now, they don't need him, but I'm just saying.
Tell you what, St. Patrick's Day is coming around. And
what day is St. Patrick's Day?
That is the 17th.
Is it always the 17th?
Yes.
J-Mart told me that earlier, and I was like, didn't realize that was always March 17th.
It sure is. Sometimes it's the
Pretty
weekend. Sometimes it's a Monday like it is this year. And out of the one place that you should go for your St. Patrick's Day festivities, that happens to be Duffy's Sports Grill.
Duffy's Sports Grill has the ultimate St. Patrick's Day party, and they're at all of the Duffy's, right? All day on Monday, March 17th, get the St. Patty's Day classic corned beef and cabbage. It's made with certified Angus beef, just $15.99. And every party must include some great drink specials. Come on, you can't have a party without the drinks. March 15th through the 17th, the whole St. Patty's Day weekend, enjoy $4 green Miller Lite pints, $6 Jameson shots, and $7 Guinness pints. Plus, you got games, you got giveaways, and all the fun you can enjoy and love on St. Patrick's Day. There's one place to go and soak all things in on St. Patrick's Day, your local Duffy Sports Grill. Duffy's, our game is always on. It's funny, this whole same. Do people still like pinch people that don't wear green?
That the tradition has died out, it feels
right?
like.
Maybe we just have outgrown it because now St. Patrick's Day is just so immersed with people just trying to get as many drinks into their system as possible in the shortest amount of time. I feel like that's the new wave for St. Patty's Day. But I haven't been pinched for not wearing green in quite a long time. It just doesn't happen anymore.
I don't own a lot of green. That's the problem.
I like green.
I own one shirt that's green,
You got green
and
in
I
this
bought
shirt.
it on. This is mint. It's a mint shirt.
What?
Yeah.
There are green leaves on your shirt. I'm looking at them.
That's more of a mint.
But mint is a shade of green. If you wear mint on St. Patrick's Day, you will not get pinched.
I would not wear this shirt on St. Patrick's Day. That would be disrespectful to the green rule. It's just not like it.
I think you can get away with it.
I only have one green shirt, and I bought it for Halloween. It's just a Scooby-Doo green shirt where I was Shaggy one year.
Oh.
But I didn't get a wig or have any other paraphernalia.
You just had a green shirt on.
I had a green shirt that said Scooby-Doo on it, and I wore that same shade of brown pants that Shaggy normally wears. And I didn't even go to a Halloween party or anything. I just went to work with that on, and people assumed I did not dress up for Halloween.
That's the worst feeling on Halloween when you actually when you wear an outfit and nobody thinks you're wearing a costume and say, hey, why didn't you wear a costume this year? And you're like, I forgot.
It was even worse than that because no one ever asked about that to me.
They just kept it pushing.
Yeah, I would have had to be like, hey, do you like my costume? I would have had to interject and have people talking about what I wore.
That's the problem, though. Shaggy is just a guy in a green shirt and brown pants. At least you had the Scooby-Doo logo on his shirt, which is actually not what he had.
Exactly. It was more indicating. And my girlfriend actually was Scooby. She had the Scooby ears and the collar. So it made sense together. You would be able to put together that I was Shaggy if I was next to Scooby.
Yeah.
But when you take one of us away, she would probably get recognized because the Scooby-Doo collar is very dignified.
Yeah.
But Shaggy, no. Shaggy's just a dude. I should have been Fred.
I was just about to say, you should have been Fred.
No one wears ascots anymore.
Nobody, except for Dean Thomas. Nobody wears ascots in public.
Dean wears ascots?
You never seen Dean Thomas in an ascot? Dean Thomas, who's regularly here on ESPN 106.3, but also does most of the fighting coverage on ESPN when it comes to UFC. You've never seen the one and only Dean Thomas in an ascot?
No, I don't.
Google Dean Thomas ascot. D-I-N, Dean Thomas ascot. This guy wears that. He's worn an ascot many a times.
What is an ascot? I've only known it from Fred in Scooby-Doo. Like, in complete and total honesty. Is it like a handkerchief that you put in your pocket?
It's like a scarf almost that it's a fancier scarf that you generally will wear with only a suit type of deal. I don't know what the actual, if you're asking me what are the intricacies, I guess I can't really find a picture of it, but you text Dean right now. If you text him, he'll send you plenty of pictures of him in an ascot. He likes to dress it up when he's on ESPN, and a lot of times that comes with an ascot.
All right.
So I don't know. What is an ascot for real? I started giving you an answer, and the more you try and describe an ascot, the more it sounds like you just bought a scarf and did something a little different with it.
It's like a cloth version of what a barber puts around your neck before he cuts your hair.
Like a cape?
That parchment paper?
Yes.
The paper that actually goes on your neck under the cape.
Oh, okay. Yes. The little, it's almost like a protective little.
I guess so, yeah. I don't know if that is either. What's that for?
Jeez. We're just a show full of questions today. Theoretically speaking, mostly just asking questions.
Hey, Culligan man!
Culligan has been quintessential to my comfort, to my health, and to my household. Ever since we got it installed, going on about 2 months, month and a half. It's not always possible to see contaminated water coming out of the faucet, but the taste is difficult to ignore. And think about this, though. You know how bad and invasive waste can be. What about all the plastics and pharmaceuticals that are now in our water? Yeah, the same water you drink and shower with and wash your face with. The team at Culligan understands this, and they can help remove this from your water. Culligan offers free water testing and reverse osmosis systems designed to filter out those contaminants right at the source.
Wait, you said free?
Free water testing. You want to know how to get that?
Yeah, how do you do that?
Culligan.com. It's that simple.
Okay.
Culligan.com. You can call them or visit their website, Culligan.com, and just say, hey, Culligan man.
Did I buy their Uber or something? How do I, it's just free? They just come? They show up?
Culligan man!
You just got to yell that out the door. You have to yell it out the door after you go online and then book the free water testing.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? And when they pull up, though, I will say, it can be as extensive as you want it to be or as brief as you want it to be. That's what my guy Tim told me when he pulled up. He said, hey, we can do this for about an hour or 15 minutes, depending on how much you want to learn about what we offer and what our services do. I said, I want all of it.
Nice.
Let you taste a sample of Culligan water. They show you the difference between your hard water and some soft water that is used with their system and how it affects soap and how it can add materials and whatnot. And one of the main things, when I first bought my home, had an issue with my water heater. And I found out that the Culligan water treatment, especially the water softener, if you get that installed, it can actually help preserve the health of your water heater because the heating element doesn't get the minerals building up on it that come from the hard water. So many different benefits. Water makes up how much of our body? Like 70%?
Yeah,
80%?
I think so.
Makes up like 70% of the earth. It is so essential to our life. Why would we not lock in on it and prioritize it? Culligan.com. On the other side, we get to the get around, some major NFL headlines, some movement in the National Football League. That's SeatCat. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
This spring, speed returns to South Florida. NASCAR weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. Go get it done. Where high octane meets the high banks. And gear up for spring break in the fast lane. 3 races, 3 days, one unforgettable weekend in racing paradise. NASCAR weekend at Homestead Miami Speedway. March 21st through the 23rd. Get your tickets now at homesteadmiamispeedway.com.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, proudly representing the residents of South Florida since 1985, and proud supporter of Inter Miami FC on ESPN West Palm. Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath has attorneys across South Florida ready to fight for your rights. They've recovered billions for their clients, and you won't pay anything unless you win your case. If you have been injured, call the attorneys at Lytle, Ryder, Smith, Ivy, and Fronrath, 561-867-4117, or online at foryourrights.com. Main office in West Palm Beach.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today. Don't miss out on this incredible course. And please, putt responsibly.
Hey, ref, time out, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Wait, no, not that water. That's full of contaminants and pharmaceuticals. You need Culligan water. With their free water test and reverse osmosis purification system, you'll have clean, refreshing water just like a slam dunk. Schedule your free consultation today at Culligan.com. Culligan, your partner for better water.
Hey, Culligan man!
Want to bet on sports but no clue where to start? Millions of players are already making moves on Hard Rock Bet. Your friends might be winning. Why not you? Bet with confidence. Bets by real players help guide your picks. Go with the crowd and cash in on the wins. Any pick that catches your eye. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. Win your first bet or get up to $100 back in bonus bets. Payable in bonus bet up to $100. Not a cash offer. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 and up and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Get ready to elevate your driving experience with the all-new 2025 Range Rover Velar P250 Dynamic SE. A stunning blend of luxury, performance, and technology that will make every drive unforgettable. Right now, you can lease the new Velar for just $759 per month for 36 months. Yes, only $759 a month for a luxury SUV that sets new standards on the road. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Attention, South Florida! The PGA Tour champions and the Pro Football Hall of Fame are teaming up for a one-of-a-kind event, the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. From March 31st to April 6th, the action takes over the old course at Broken Sound in Boca Raton, featuring Hall of Fame legends like Warren Sapp, Calvin Johnson, Andre Reed, Rondé Barber, Chris Carter, and more. Tickets are on sale now at JamesHardyInvitational.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the home of legends.
Kaiser University's flagship campus, the 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach, extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees in the heart of South Florida. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 20 national championships, including the 2024 Women's Swimming and Diving Championship and 2023 football, lacrosse, and men's swimming and diving titles. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest. Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
So let it rip.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
MVP race in the NBA heating up. Gonna come down to the finish. What does that remind you of? We just got done doing this, man. We just did this.
What, like in the NBA or the NFL?
In the NFL. A little back and forth. It's going to be good. We're getting some of that. Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? Answer me this. Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? If the answer is no, EDS is yes. Is there a room in your home that's always too hot or freezing cold? Are you running out of hot water when you need it the most? If the answer is no to the question, is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? Then EDS is yes. EDSisyes.com. That's the website to go to. EDS is Palm Beach County's trusted AC and plumbing expert. They'll make sure you have your air and your water flow going smooth. So you can relax in comfort. Plus, with their financial options that are flexible, your budget will not stand in between you and the comfort that you deserve. Call today or visit EDSisyes.com because when comfort matters, EDS is yes. See, Kat, it's about that time, man. I'm hopefully we don't get any motion sickness. Hopefully we don't, because there's a whole lot of motion on today's Get Around.
I get around. What you mean you don't know?
Take a little drama me. You know what I'm saying? A little. Do you get motion sickness? Power sickness?
No.
None of that? Seasickness?
Nope. Next stop. The Get Around, where we go from city to city to give you headline to headline, topic to topic. And today, we start in Los Angeles, California.
Hey.
The Rams are planning to release wide receiver and former Triple Crown winner Cooper Kupp. You remember, they were looking for a trade partner before, but apparently they couldn't find one.
This is extremely weird departure because Stafford obviously stays. They do still feel the need for the kind of receiver, different, but an elite level, a high level receiver, because they went out and paid Devontae Adams for 2 years, $26 million a year. So if you're the Rams and you're punting on a guy like Kupp that you've won a Super Bowl with, but has been injury riddled over the past couple of years of his career, it's starting to feel more and more like he is closer to retirement than he is impacting a winning team. Like, who's taking a risk on that guy given what the Rams have showed us this offseason?
Yeah, I don't know. That's very, it is puzzling. You're right.
He's 2 years younger than Devontae Adams.
So the Rams must know something that we don't.
Yes.
They have a better feel for Cooper Kupp, and that's not a good thing for the rest of the league in regards to the stock of Cooper Kupp.
Because it's not like they got off a Kupp and then went and got younger or even got closed because even people that believe SGA is the MVP as things currently stand, which I am slightly on that side of the fence. Thunder got the 1 seed. He's got a great stat line. Everybody can agree the best player in the NBA is Nikola Jokic, and he put that on display. So the door's open. I'd love to see what the MVP odds are doing. And CCAT, about, say 3-4 weeks ago, when everybody was talking that SGA noise, I had a feeling this would come. Put about 15 on Jokic.
Let's go.
Say, give me the Joker. Give me the Joker. I still think right now SGA is in the pole position. I still think he's leading. But it's getting closer.
Next stop.
And we finish today's get around in Bronx, New York, the city that never sleeps, the fan base that never sleeps, because Garrett Cole is out for the season. He's getting Tommy John surgery after some complications in spring training.
I can relate. Pitching, it does a number on your shoulder, does a number on your arm, and as I've learned to pitch and as I threw a bunch of heat over the weekend with my guy Cade Chumsden, who showed me a couple of the ropes there, I get what Garrett Cole's going through. I don't need surgery yet, but how do you feel as a Yankees fan?
From the Yankees' perspective, it's downright dreadful. It's awful. It feels like the season is over and it hasn't even begun. You know, the American League is not good right now, so there's still promise that the Yankees will be the favorite to win and make it to the World Series. But you saw the talent differential between the Dodgers and the Yankees last year. And right now, that's the goal. You made it to the World Series last year. This year, you're trying to win the World Series. And you see the amount of arms that the Dodgers already had and added this offseason. That sucks.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Stanton has 2 bad elbows, let alone 1 bad elbow. And Garrett Cole's out for the season. If the Yankees do not win a World Series with Aaron Judge, it will be looked at as the biggest waste of talent in sports history.
Mike Trout would love a word.
Well, a collection of talent. That's what I was trying to get at. Because it's about Aaron Judge's tenure, not just how good he was.
Right.
Which he's a big piece of that pie. Don't get me wrong. MVP winner. 60-plus home run scorer. But Stanton, Soto, Cole, it's looking ugly. The Yankees got to win at least one with him in pinstripes.
I'd have to agree, and I would love to see you be able to enjoy your team win a World Series there. Speaking of a waste of talent, if you don't get production out of them, hey, if Inter Miami don't win an MLS Cup with Lionel Messi, well, you know what? We'll have somebody else answer for that for us on the other side. Somebody who's more of an expert on the situation, our guy Mike Rizzo. He joins us on the other side here on Theoretically Speaking ahead of his show. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. Special guest in the happy hour coming up on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3. Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, H-E-L-P. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
ESPN West Palm is highlighting the best performance of the week, presented by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Every week, a different team will be featured across ESPN 106.3 and ESPN West Palm Play. The winning performance receives $500, courtesy of Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Do you know a team, player, or school with a killer performance? Nominate them by emailing highschool@espnwestpalm.com. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Go where the pros go. Good people, it's Theo Dorsey. Spring training at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium is in full swing, but time is running out. Don't miss the Miami Marlins and St. Louis Cardinals before the regular season starts. Tickets, groups, birthdays, and more are still available, but not for long. Don't wait. Stop by the ticket office or visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com today. See you at the ballpark.
God knows I am reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need her, my babies.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
It's the happy hour, baby, and the homie done pulled up. I got a hot question for my dog, Mike Rizzo. Mike, I hope you're ready for this, too.
All right, let's go. Let's go. You're throwing a blindside my way, but I'm ready to roll, baby.
You're going to love it. You're going to love it. It is soccer-themed, and it has a lot to do with your new venture here. But first, is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery as well as new, less invasive treatments with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. He is Mike Rizzo. You know him from Russo and Rizzo, which is 4 to 6 here on ESPN 106.3, but you're about to get to know him for something more because the dude can't stop cooking. First,
absolutely.
Before I ask you this question, just tell the good people what you got coming to ESPN West Palm Play, man.
So West Palm FC, that is going to be your newest football podcast. Now, obviously, some would call it soccer, but myself, Damian Perez, and Elias Bustamante, football. Those are the three guys who are going to be in charge of giving you guys some great soccer football content. Myself, Mike Rizzo, Elias Bustamante, and Damian Perez. We're going to talk about everything, Theo.
Okay.
Champions League, Europa League, Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, Liga.
Come on.
We're talking about it all.
You got any more? One more.
And the most important thing, though, probably.
MLS.
Inter Miami. We're home of the Herons on 106.3 on the English side, and we're home of the Herons on 7:60 a.m. on Deportes. So we're going to be your home, your hub for South Florida soccer. I can't wait. Theo, soccer has been one of those things that I've known so much of for such a long time and have never been able to kind of elaborate on that. You know, American sports, it's football, basketball, baseball. At least where I grew up, partner.
Yeah.
Football, basketball, baseball. And I was always not the weird kid, but like, really, Riz? Soccer? And down here, it's huge. I came down here and met the Deportes boys and Damian and Elias.
Yeah.
We immediately hit it off. We had a great connection as well, and we're going to start the podcast. West Palm FC on ESPN West Palm Play.
Lionel Messi not winning an MLS Cup with Inter Miami. How big of a disappointment would that be this coming season? I hate to get way ahead of myself because last year was.
Now let me ask you this: we have a lot of competitions.
Yeah.
If he wins the CONCACAF Champions Cup, if they win the U.S. Open Hunts Cup, like if they play well in the Club FIFA World Cup, this is a team that's involved in about 5 competitions this year.
Yeah. So the MLS Cup is not.
With that said, they want to win that thing.
They got to.
But Theo, if I could play devil's advocate too.
Don't do that.
Inter Miami ended the season and they had the most points. Theo, in any soccer league, football league, they win the league.
It's over, yeah.
There's no playoffs. This is
American sports, baby.
There's no playoffs.
You got to give the people what they want.
I know, but that's my gripe.
They lost in the first round.
It's second round. They had a bye week in the first round.
Okay,
it's all right, brother. But listen,
bye weeks.
You know football, man. If you have the most points at the end of the year on the table, you're the winner.
If anyone knows football, it's Theo.
Yeah, man, I know all about football.
Yeah. But
Pele.
Thank you so much for letting me come on and promote this. We can't wait. This Friday, first episode is dropping. West Palm FC on ESPN West Palm Play.
Ronaldinho. Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry.
All of that.
For 2.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
There you go. And Lionel Messi.
Lionel Messi.
Yes.
I say Lionel sometimes.
Yeah,
People they be wanting to slap me. How can they find it again one more time?
West Palm FC on ESPN West Palm Play.
Russo and Rizzo is next on ESPN 106.3. Go in love, go in peace, go in joy.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills